seen? Have you guys seen the? Have you guys seen the profile things you can do on Steam now?
Oh yeah,
in the Steam cell.
Yes.
My profile is glittery, it's sparkly, and it's sexy, man. I feel like Charlie's Theron when I look at my profile. I've got like this orange outlines. Maybe we need to get like a border around the TV, like some kind of orange border to reflect my Steam profile.
All right. We'll get on that.
Did you buy the gold one?
There's your challenge summit staff. Yes, I did buy the gold.
We'll get on that.
Talk to the James
do you know what?
I
that thing started right. I had 500,000 points to use in that shop.
Jesus Christ! How much
Jason,
are you
Most
buying
people
on
have
these
like
sales?
3,000. I swear to God, I had 512,000 points on Steam.
I think that's because you bought the Alex or the extra VR headset.
That index thing.
You bought the index, so you had so many extra points left.
Yeah, I bought a £1,000 music kit in Steam. So.
Likewise. All right, OG and Heroic on the final map. OG on that CT side, Heroic on the T side, and Heroic look to be challenging this A site, and they have destroyed Valde in the sandwich. He is being devoured, and so will the rest of the defense on this A bomb site as Heroic looks strong into this one, and the retake is only getting tougher by the minutes. And it's creep out of the smoke. Alexi B assassinating Storm there, using his expert training to great effect. 1-0 for Heroic though, and this is the start that the Danes needed.
Yeah, that was a nice just right wall exec, right side smokes onto that bomb site. Good trades coming out from Heroic. Nice shots being hit as well. OG now on the back foot here. Will force up into this round, and they are so dangerous with these weapons. Scout on Alexi B. That's an interesting look. Haven't really seen Alexi B with this weapon all too much. We'll see what he's able to find. Oh, okay. No, I thought... Never mind. Does not find the tag. And he's forced off the angle. Heroic with some methodical clearing of the mid now. Just refreshing that window smoke. And OG, you're going for a B stack. And this might work.
It absolutely might work. It's just looking rather dangerous. Heroic with a blind attack on the side. Now, it can work if they're able to avoid taking damage before they get onto the side, and if their nades do the job that it's supposed to. But the two-man setup there around the pillar is going to be problematic, that is for sure, as they've taken down one of the players. I don't know if they spotted the second. It seems like Tess has had some idea, but they're going to call it off. This is fantastic. It's a really good sign for a team that's able to call off a push like this and to confidently go into something else. And they could even go up catwalk into B right now. That is also like a good contingency. And if they anticipate that OG have out-rotated them, that is then one of the better ways to play out the situation.
Oh, that was a big fight for Nico to win there. Takes down Issa in the connector position. He was aided by a smoke, which was thrown by a teammate, but he isn't able to capitalize as Nico waited for it to fade. And it looks like Heroic will have a pretty structured clearing of this B bomb site now. Just Monty remains. Okay, wait. He's able to get one, but yeah, just the one kill for him. And it looks like Alexi B will take that scout moving forward, unless he overextends here, but Alexi B not usually one to do such a thing.
Yeah, looks like he will keep this alive. I'll take this moment to say my favorite author, because everyone else has had
oh yeah, who was your favorite author?
My favorite fiction writer is the late Terry Pratchett.
I just started reading a book by him.
Is it a Discworld book? Which book is it?
Let me pull this up. It's The Truth.
Book Club Summits.
The Truth? That's not a Discworld
Tweet
book,
us your favorite authors.
So it's one of the
read them all on stream.
in the Discord universe.
The Truth.
So look, trying to walk over to. Let's have a look.
What are you guys doing?
Oh, looks like it is in the Discord universe at least. All of his books are incredible, so you can't go wrong. You cannot go wrong. And as far as fiction writers, it's a toss-up between Bill Bryson and Robert Greene for me. Actually, James lent me a Bill Bryson book, A Short History of Nearly Everything. Incredibly good book, actually.
Good looks, James.
Are we finished with the books now?
Well, we were on a technical pause, so we had time.
Yeah.
No, but now the game is starting up again.
Yes.
Looks like it'll just be an eco, though, for OG. Lexi B still has that scout save from the previous round, and okay. Fast approach here from Heroic towards A, but they're comfortable with that single frag. Stown pushing out early on is able to take Issa's life, and Heroic are looking pretty sharp, but these are anti-ecos after all. It's a lot easier to look good when your opponents aren't shooting back with the best weaponry. They're using their nades to clear out a lot of these tougher angles. NBK is able to find one. Okay, well, some damage being inflicted here. And NBK is able to save an AK off of this round if he so chooses. He's getting a little bit aggressive here at window now, and he's looking for more. This could be unexpected from Heroic. They likely think he will just want to save this AK into the upcoming round, and he might find a timing here. Oh, he does! Wow! NBK finding some excellent damage here. And this really hurts Heroic's economy. You can see that a few of their players are beneath $1,000. And if he's able to take one more, that would just be massive. But no, Nico will eventually stop him in his tracks. It was going to be a gun round for OG in this one regardless. And he's okay with just looking for that damage.
Yeah, looking like a great start here for Heroic. Really shaping up nicely, able to convert all of the rounds off of the pistol, and dealing with the force buy, dealing with the anti-eco. But as you say, you know, there was a really good amount of damage in that previous round, which will really help OG. And now they have that full buy. The AWP on Mantu is dangerous, full utility. Just one kit, and that's on MBK. And he is playing towards the B. Top side at the moment. I'm curious how... Oh, I was going to say, like, how many efforts will go towards the mid-fight? Oh my goodness, Valthi actually dies there. MBK does defend, and it's actually going to be this triggering a B push as Matu's on the site with the AWP. What can he do from this position? It's a hard shot to hit there all over the place there. Able to surround him and take him down. 3 versus 2 for Heroic as they have this B site. The spray on Alexi B is good as well. And this full buy round has been crushed.
Man, I can't believe Valde died right there. Usually the person in connector in that one way has advantage 110% of the time.
Yeah, it's surprising Kadeen was able to find that spray down there. That was an interesting and unexpected opening pick for Heroic. And I don't even think that was really part of their greater plan in the round. It looked like it was going to be a B hit regardless of what happened at mid. But it just helps them even more. Stops that early rotation from coming out, denies information, puts a little bit more pressure at A. Now Issa trying to save this AK into the upcoming round. This will be one of the few win conditions for OG into round number 5 here. And Issa, he's had some moments thus far. So can't count OG out of this upcoming round, especially given the fact that many of them will go for half buys here. Would expect Montu to go for the full save and the rest of the players to buy some upgraded pistols. So we'll see if Heroic are well versed enough to stop this. The Issa wildcard AK.
Yeah, OG's been looking a little flat for the last like 16 rounds. 16 out of 20 rounds it's been the Heroic game we saw from the last map, and now OG being down 0-4. Most likely it's gonna be 0-5. Not a great start for your CT side, especially in a map like Mirage. Will sometimes you need as many CT rounds as you can get.
Wonder if Alexi was holding a pop flash for the underpass for his teammates to swing. There's a really nice flash you can do from the window near that table, left and right click, which just pops just below the top of the arch. Nasty, nasty flashbang if you can coordinate, but nothing doing just yet. Just about Issa with this AK-47. He's over towards the A bomb site. There is a lurker, and the bomb is heading in his direction as well. So Issa's making a play here on the ramp, and he's going to take out Nico. And again, now you've got Borup, who is ahead of his teammates. So you have to wait for him to catch up as he is carrying the objective. Smoke towards the window of B to try and pull rotation. Maybe try and pull that rifle away as Issa starts to back up towards triple and now CT. They've taken the bait, despite the position of Mantu, who's actually deep in apps. So they should read that this is a trap, but now it might be a question of trying to save the AK, especially with that Molotov in jungle.
Yeah, it's looking like such a smooth start for the Danes. OG really not having the best of times on the CT side. And it's definitely a map where you can get a lot going on the CT side. You can take initiative and make forward plays in lots of ways. One thing that I would like to see is and we saw it, I think, in a previous Mirage we cast. I'm trying to remember which one it was and who it was doing this, but you can do the smoke, the DPAP B-apps smoke from CT spawn, and then do a two-man push where you then throw the molly into kitchen, and you can get one B player to sort very deep, and then they can hold that kitchen position. And that really deals with the defaults very, very effectively, and it allows you to get so much info to then be able to challenge mid quickly afterwards, as you can rotate the second B player out into mid aggression, or whatever you want. Or you can actually, if you have an inkling that Heroic are not playing a default, you can actually even just push, just straight up push B apps into underpass or T spawn. So this creates some cool options. It's multi-dimensional in terms of what you can do with it. But that's not the only option. There's lots of other options. The Astralis smoke top mid. I would like to see OG taking control in a more forward setup. But we'll see what they opt to do. They opted to go quite passive on Inferno. Didn't work out. Man 2 active makes the jump from window to the fence on Cat. Doesn't spot anyone just yet top mid. That can often mean that in the default there's going to be a player or two in the underpass, and the top mid swing will come later. OG playing fairly default here. They've got two men close to a ramp, so we could see a mid-rounds info play a ramp. Given that there's an A ramp T and a Palace T for Heroic, it does feel like this is going to be an A play. Actually, it's kind of rare that you'd put a lurker in both positions if it's not going to be an A play. Valde picks up the kill onto Nico.
Weird spot for Cadian with the AWP going through underpass like this. But we've seen plenty of unorthodox plays, and he might actually have an advantage here. Man2 gets taken out, and Cadian's going to create some space, maybe with a read on the setup of the CTs with that pick earlier towards the ramp, but from short NBK will deal with things and really shut things down for the most part. 4 versus 2 as Heroic tries to race towards the B bomb site, and they're going to telegraph their positions, and it might be a little easier for OG to deal with now. LXCB showing presence while Storm knows he's got multiple people to deal with. 28 seconds on the clock. The more time goes on, and more CTs will be at this B bomb site as the bomb's been lost. 20 seconds now, and he will be put out of his misery by Valde. And that will be the first round on the board for OG.
Valde's kill on Nico, I think, really changed, really created problems for Heroic. Because, as I mentioned, they played one... Heroic were playing a man T ramp and Palace, which, again, in defaults, you don't really see that very often. It usually indicates that Heroic are looking to finish on A. So that basically caused Heroic to have to make a huge adjustment to their entire round.
Yeah, and that opening pick from... or that kill from Cadian onto Montu was big too, but Valde challenged by 3 players in Palace. This is not a look you get every day, and he's able to somehow pick up 1. Issa now will be challenged. He's playing close to the ramp and completely blind, is able to take down Stown. Through the smoke, though, is Nico to find him in return. And now it's a 3-on-3 situation, and Heroic look to reset it here. They pulled the rotations from OG, but now both of these teams are spreading thin across the map now in order to try to find out what exactly is going on in this round.
Oh, but there's a couple of advantages for OG. Advantage 1 is that they saw such a bulk of players towards A that they have a deep mid position, and with the AWP from Alexi B on the angle towards the T apps, he's actually beaten the rotation timing of Heroic. So that's one advantage. The second advantage, although he's going to give up that position without the info, the second advantage is that they have 2 AWPs. And in this position, the Ts will have to walk around the map, which makes them basically very vulnerable to sort of that, as you call it, Alex, like the tripwire type AWPing setups, where the AWPs will be against walking peaks. This is a really weird position for Man2. Oh my goodness. That's a problem. Oh! They look like they were lining up there. Alexi B, though, he's got coverage of the bomb. He's actually going to whiff that one. Quite a few whiffs going the way of OG at the moment, and that gives opportunity to the Danes. Heroic, as Cadian takes down Alexi B, but the bomb is lost again. It's still in mid. MBK in the 1v1 now. There goes the challenge. What? Oh, what is going on right now? MBK walks through the molly. I think Cadian realizes. Oh, that was way to look. So weird. So strange. But it is OG's round.
I'm so surprised Cadian went for that play through the smoke there.
Yeah.
I guess he heard how much NBK burned, but That was such a close round at the end of it all.
I think time was winding down. Maybe that's why he did that.
Oh yeah. I didn't quite look at the clock, so I didn't know what.
I don't think he had time to go all the way back to B.
Right. Yeah, that does make sense that he would force the issue then. Yeah, okay. All right. He has very little time there, 15 seconds. Yeah, he just doesn't have the time and forces it all. And NBK playing off of that smoke very well. Early pick from Montu onto Nico. That was actually towards middle, and it's going to be a B flood coming out. Excellent utility damage already for the side of OG. Borup's able to pick up one, but an excellent spray down from the remaining B players is able to clean things up. 2 casualties on the round on the side of OG, but they're definitely happy to make that one not too costly.
OG coming alive.
Storm for that second kill.
Showing some signs of life, James. You like a good game,
Yeah,
don't you, James?
it's still reasonably early. Still reasonably early, and well, the money sucks now for Heroic, so I think they should be aiming at 5 rounds for the time being, and then once they're at 5, aim for 8. Once they're at 8, aim for 10. Plenty of goals. We'll see if they can hit the first one. That's a nice shot by Mantu. Jumping on the table support, elevating his position. Trying to avoid that headshot.
Oh, what?
Oh, okay. That's not what I was expecting at all. That's the bomb, no less. Now the bomb's hitting the floor, as are all the bodies of the Heroic players pretty damn quickly. It's a pretty solid round for OG. 1 player lost. That's all fine. Very, I mean, you can't do anything about that, really. That was very strange, but there we go.
Yeah, that was a pretty scary kill for Nico, but OG recover flawlessly. And Heroic here are on a solid buy. They have all of the utility that they would want, although Cadian is not on the op this round. And that might indicate some kind of faster play coming out for them. It is a quick mid-scale for Cadian here, and it's going to enable a pop. But Isa plays close to the ramp, is able to pick up just one. Quickly traded out by Borup, and now it's a 3-on-4 situation. Heroic are scaling beautifully onto this bomb site here. Should be able to get a plant in just a moment's time, and they'll take CT control. This is excellent initiative by the Heroic side, but Tessis extending very deep will be into the waiting arms of NBK. Leaves it all onto the shoulders of Nico and Borup here.
I don't know that their positions are good enough for this, really. I feel like they need to make a forward play in a 2 versus 4, but what can they really do? Once one position is known, I think OG have a great chance to collapse on them, but they've got tagged players as well. Borup eats a massive flashbang, goes down for free. That bomb is a little thick, though. Nico's going to take one out, but he's going to get traded immediately, and I think it was inevitable in most cases there. OG will be able to survive with 3 players alive, which is certainly helpful moving into the rounds to come. So there is that 5th round achieved. Now they can target 8, see how far they get.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good for OG now all of a sudden. OG with all of the cash.
Got to note, those smokes on T-Ramp from OG have been quite problematic for Heroic. I think they were somewhat fortunate to survive that previous one. 1 player going in at once, and then there were 2 more going on either side, but not quite synchronized, so that could have been a lot worse for them.
Valdi looking to hold on to this connector position. A quick flash out there just to see what he can find, punish any players close. Does spot that the mid take is indeed coming in. Good HE finding Storm and Borup. Boost into the window here, but this looks like it should favor Alexi B. He's aware of this. He's just going to back away.
Immediately through the smoke, you can see a light on the other side, and when the player jumps in, they block the light, which is how he knows that someone has made a way into the window. So like 100% he knows somebody was there, but now they see that they've exited again. So there's something to look for. You'll see them, they'll focus on the light if they're smart.
And Valdi replaces his position as he has the rifle, so he's a bit more dynamic there. And time is ticking away here. Heroic now looking to go for that connector split onto the A site. Alexi B is a huge issue with this AWP. If he has a good performance here, he is going to stop this outright. But there is that push from Palace at just the key moment to allow them to try to get the bomb down. The spray through finds Borup, but the bomb goes down. A 2 versus 3 here, slightly better off the plant situation, but maybe not. It's up to Nico now. 1 versus 3 makes it a little bit easier. 2 left to go as Mantu finds the back of Nico from the CT spawn position, and OG are going to convert again.
Heroic are able to find the bomb plant though, so they'll continue to apply the pressure on OG. They'll have a quite comfy buy for themselves. Cadian though has not had a round with an op for quite a while, and we saw a very good look for him as he pushed up underpass that one round, taking down Montu, reading the opposing opper very well. I'm not surprised by any means that Heroic are buying here, but they definitely would like to see an op on Cadian at some point. So an actual round victory would definitely bode well for them so they can enact the entire game plan, bringing out that op. But you have to be comfortable on a map like Mirage to just bust out 5 rifles, great utility, and have some kind of way to win. And Heroic, they've been given some good looks for themselves. It's just that in these key closing moments, OG have come out on top. Looks like it might just be an A split. OG are in an excellent position to stop this, though. They have 2 players at ramp, with Issa here on the bricks. Montu around connector, and all 3 of these players from OG are in such close proximity. Issa is able to find the first kill onto Borup, which will slow that Palace push. And what can these players at mid do? Stout, actually, he's made his way through window. Will this be red? Okay, Montu has already scouted it out. Alexi B will now take up the angle.
The position for Storm is just favorable here in terms of the peeking. You can see that Storm gets to see Alexi B massively before he gets seen by Alexi B there. So huge advantages found here by Heroic, just winning every duel. And again, Storm there playing that angle like Alexi B. You actually no one. It's impossible to peek that, so slow peek that. And even if you swing it, you're still at a disadvantage. It's really smart from Storm to post up like that.
Yeah, OG felt like they needed to make a bunch of info plays all at once, and Heroic just literally dismantled them. Kind of interesting call from OG. I don't think you really need to all make info plays at once on the CT side at the same time.
Okay, Din's on the AWP once again, so we'll see what he chooses to do. Nico will be lurking in Palace once more, this time about the bomb. It was awkward when he lost his teammate, lost his security guard in that round prior, and went down to 4 HP carrying the bomb, but by that point, OG had lost many personnel and position. Traditional positions for OG. Mantu will be rotating his AWP. So nobody's watching the crawl space or jungle at present, but they do have some eyes from Connector, and Mantu will head back. So perhaps some uncertainty, a lack of info for OG.
Oh, it's a heavy mid play in the mid round for them. They are trying to gain this information back with a minute left in the round, but Heroic are actually potentially out-timing them here. We'll see, though. It looks like OG are able to set up strongly. Okay, this is looking really good for OG now. Yeah, they've gotten into all the positions that they want to be at mid, and they expected, it seems, the late Heroic play. Good stuff from OG. They took that space back. They set up nicely, and it worked out heavily in their favor.
Good pop from Nico, though. Will find himself some position on the site. Ooh, another headshot comes through from Nico. Again, he's really on one right now. We can't really underestimate this man as he powers his way to the bomb. He hasn't got much time here, so he has to be decisive. He is, but it's not going to go his way against MBK, as 7-6 will be the score for OG as they take the lead against Heroic. But this really, truly is a neck-and-neck third map.
That was a really good setup by OG and Catwalk in middle with Valde and Alexi B. Alexi B was on top watching the underpass, and then Valde was covering his top middle. As soon as they spot Alexi B, he falls down and watches Cat, and then Valde turns around and watches the underpass from that spot. So a lot of good bait switched up right here. Oh my goodness, Cadian!
Oh man,
that was juicy.
When do you see a play like that? That was so fast. He's in ladder at minute 40.
Oh.
And NBK is going to take him out punching for his insolence now. He's seen 2 players go through that connector position. One will be dealt with, but Issa will be lost in the meantime. We got a rotation from Palace to ramp by Valde. In the meantime, Alexi B's dropped the bomb, so it looked really nice at the beginning for Heroic, but now it looks like a disaster. Sword's got himself a 1 versus 2 now. He takes out Alexi B, but he won't last much longer. Very fast moving around. That rotation from Valde ended up getting that winning kill, and OG will make it to 8.
What did Heroic up like 5-0 at one point?
Yes.
It's interesting too because like if you look at the score lines, it's pretty even. Nico's fragging out for Heroic, and on OG side of things it's MBK, but everybody else has like very consistently like close scores on both teams, so it's pretty even in terms of the fragging.
Oh, Issa, he's done a lot of work at this close ramp position, but this time he'll be forced off. He's playing now in the emo under balcony position. Able to find one, not a second, but there to support him is Valde. Good nade onto Tetris for him now, and that should do it for OG in this round. 9-6 scoreline.
About to see who will come out on top and clinch this thrilling best-of-3 series after the break.
It is mental, and so is this match. We're back.
Quick rush into the A side for OG, looking to make things easy for themselves, but really it's quite labored here into this site. There's actually a pretty strong defense from the offset from Heroic. They managed to slow down the approach to the site, but they are down in numbers, but that's a great effort to return to dominance here for Heroic. They just have to deal with these. It's got that P250, and it's doing a good job so far. Oh, Tessus is so low, but Issa is low as well. And it's Tessus to come out on top. Good effort there from Heroic.
Oh, that flashbang. That flashbang was so bad, and it enabled Heroic to win that round. Because the OG tossed that flashbang like really deep into the connector area.
Yeah.
And then two players were like just didn't touch them.
It can really get the same job done with something in front of stairs.
Yep.
It'll flash more or less the same thing. It gave some false confidence to OG in that round. But OG will actually force buy behind the lack of plant. So instead of seeing the hero AK, it's more or less a hero Galil coming out from Montu. But because of that, he has no head armor. But maybe that doesn't matter. OG are able to find the first kill of the round early on, recover an MP9, and they're slowly building up their arsenal.
Is the the counter to the MP9?
There is no counter to the MP9, let's be honest. It's another MP9.
Another MP9.
Fight fire with fire.
But that just make more fire.
Just run away from it.
Make a blazing inferno at that
He's
point.
faster than you.
To fight fire with water.
I think you're really into this a little bit too much.
Yeah, I know. Where is this going?
You know where it's going.
It's going into this round here. 5v4 advantage for OG. And no one is on the A bomb site for Heroic. OG may just have a clean cut path onto this site. Orb will be here to challenge. Okay, well, he's smoked off, so now actually no opportunity. This will be perhaps a 4v4 post plan as Borat finds that kill through the smoke onto Alexi. But there are great positions to be had from the OG side. They already have space towards CT spawn as well. It's such a difficult retake, and that won't help. Valde finding Nico on the flank, and OG just might make this work.
Oh, wow.
Wow. This has fallen all apart for Heroic in this round.
That, like, the flank timing there was actually really good as well. I think it's really unfortunate that Heroic got nothing off of that, because you don't expect the flank to be there as the first contact, actually, on a retake situation like that. So, but that just goes to show, had there been maybe one extra kill from Heroic on the initial defense and one less player to play the post plant, that flank could very well win the round, because there wouldn't have been the attention, I think, there, or the ability to divide the attention. But OG, they take an early lead, 10-7 on this T side. And it's going to be very interesting to see exactly what makes this half for one of these two teams, because they seem pretty closely matched at this point. And with that said, you know, OG were quite passive, generally speaking. They didn't have a lot of aggressive rounds on their first half. But Heroic, I feel like they might throw... That could be the difference for them. But we'll find out shortly. Have to see what they can do off of the back of the force bar. They have a couple of FAMAS, actually.
Yeah, get that out of here. No one wants bombers.
Looking to make a difference. Oh, Issa straight out there with that. MP9 is so good, isn't it? Oh no,
wow.
They're getting annihilated. Heroic, getting ejected from the rounds. by OG. No response from Heroic, really.
Yeah, if you're Heroic now, you just have to think about, are you going to play this in the same fashion that you played Inferno, where you let OG dictate the economy in such a fashion? Like, are you just going to keep forcing up? That's the main question I have for Heroic moving forward. As Cadian tries to defend this underpass position from the oncoming Ts, they're really hot on his tail. This is going to be hard to defend. All right, so MBK does end up finding that kill. Takes down the scout.
Oh.
And, okay, a little bit of...
BM.
Yeah, a little BM there. But Heroic, I feel like you just have to settle into your game plan at this point. Don't play into OG's hands and force up too much. And I think the decision becomes a lot easier because they lost every player. If they had saved 2, maybe 3 guns, this might be a force by Fiesta. Yeah, Fiesta. And that would not bode well for Heroic, as we have seen in the past. I'm actually almost glad that Cadian lost that gun. just so they don't get tempted to force buy. Because on gun rounds, Heroic have looked like such a strong team. Just get all the nades you want. Get all the guns you want. Play the game that you've went over with Hunden.
Just eat the garbanzo beans. High in protein.
That leaves us stumped. We just don't know where to go off the garbanzo bean comment.
Who's your science hero, Eric?
Science hero? I was reading up a lot on Isaac Newton lately. I think he's a good solid candidate, you know.
Yeah,
the inventor of calculus and everything.
Yeah.
Get on his spare time, why not?
Principia Mathematica, however you're supposed to pronounce the whole thing.
There's so many famous. There's so many big scientists
Oh,
in
Alex,
this
who's your
world.
science hero?
Science hero?
Everyone must have a science hero. I'll not accept that everyone knows
Just Gutenberg.
all these pop culture references, but no one knows any scientists that have literally defined our quality of life
Maybe just
and prosperity in the Western world.
just Gutenberg or something. Gutenberg Press. I mean, I don't know. That's not a crazy scientific.
You guys have to think about this. This is homework.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you homework.
How about you, Dan? What's your favorite scientist?
Probably Richard Feynman.
Oh, yeah, he's a good one, too. He was the kid genius, right?
Well, I mean, that's the thing, is that technically he's not necessarily considered a genius per se from the typical measurement of, let's say, IQ or something. He actually had quite a low IQ
He had a
for
lot
some
early
of
success, right?
for the company that he keeps in history. But we'll go back into that later on as we get a very fast explosion onto the A site. And this time it's a slightly better look for Heroic, able to get a couple kills on the entrance of OG, and OG are yet to get the bomb planted. They've got a single smoke remaining to help them have that coverage, and here goes Valde with an attempt at forward positioning to allow them to get the plant safely. Now, bomb does go down, and Borat, he's making a play straight in from CT. He's found a lot of ground here. This is a problem. The pressure on Mantu is pretty enormous. He's got very low HP. Borup's alone. Can he find the next finish? Oh, yes, he can. Mantu goes down. Great performance from Borup, going out on a limb there, getting himself a quad kill. That is amazing. Herculean effort there from Borup.
That was such a quick-paced retake. I thought at one point Valde was going to turn away looking to the bomb side. I'm surprised that he held his ground and stared at Tessus towards connector, because that similarly could have been a big opening for Heroic in that round. But man, let's just watch back this. This is excellence from Borup, the way he's able to play around the bomb site, find these kills in quick succession. That is so big. Borup is rarely the player you highlight when looking at Heroic. Oftentimes the other riflers will overtake him in terms of both statistics and just name recognition. Nico, of course, a player that many have talked about for a while now, but we'll hold that thought, as it looks like it'll be a fast play towards B. Katie and Borup connect with a couple of kills, though, and still on the defense is Tessus, but he can't find anything. And OG are all over this B bomb site now, and there's no choice for Heroic in this round. It is a save. There's no way you can justify trying to make a play at this anymore. Maybe try to upgrade that MP9 from Nico. There should be a gun down at the catwalk position. In fact, it should be in that smoke. But just fast plays from OG so far, able to win them some rounds. That is That's tough if you're on the heroic side. You're able to get those first 2 kills. This was a 3v5 at one point. But the trades just went in favor of OG.
Can't always be on your toes. Can't let up. Teams like OG professionals teams will just take advantage of that.
Yeah, if you're caught slipping for just a second there.
And this doesn't look
They're
like
in trouble.
Yeah.
Heroic are in a lot of trouble right now.
They broke.
OG are on the cusp of victory, and indeed, they're broke as pocus, man. They may have to... Well, let's see what they do. They have an AWP in play. And it looks like they will invest around it, which makes sense.
They're all
Now,
in.
how aggressive do they get? Cadian's got a spawn towards the A-bomb site, could go towards connector. Maybe try and make a play towards Palace, but it looks like he will just hold one for the ramp. An alternative one, trying to avoid being pre-fired by the box. You can crouch behind that box to hide from Palace, for example, so it's quite handy, but also quite expected to some degree, so we'll take an alternative angle instead. And there's a big presence here towards the B bomb site from Heroic, as we can see. Now, they're not really going into apartments to get any info. They're playing reactively, so they may have troubles here on the A bomb site, considering it's currently a 2 versus 5.
Seeing a lot of these A attacks coming in here from OG. They're really fancying their chances. And
Oh, wow.
See you later.
That's huge. Nico goes down, a really important player. And now OG look for that bomb plant. They've locked the CTs out of the site behind the smokes, but it doesn't seem like the smokes are really preventing damage being done. A great tag from Cadian up on top of the ticket box. He'll get taken down quickly by Mantu, leaving Storm and Tessus to try and recover this 2 versus 4, but they have everything working against them. An MP9 is all that Storm has, and a Deagle just for Tessus. Oh, great shot there, devours MPK, but there's still so much left to do. And to do it against an AWP, there's just no utility except the incendiary that's now gone. Storm was locked away by the smoke. It is desperate times here for Heroic. They're staring down the barrel of a 8-14 deficit. That's a 6-round deficit. That's a huge problem.
Yeah, especially given their money. They won't have much to work with in the upcoming round. It might just be force buys coming out for the remainder of this match for Heroic here. Stown will, looks like, save that MP9 moving forward. He would love to get a rifle. You can see that he's charging on forward, able to recover an M4. But that's the best weapon in the hands of Heroic on round 23 here. This is looking so grim.
Yeah, there's a lot of problems here for Heroic. It feels like the game is slipping through their fingers at this point. They're losing their grip.
Well, they've got the Hero M4. They've saved for the next round. What could be the final round. Now, Storm can buy with his team in the round to come, so he's got to try and just win the round for his team. A 2K there would have been so enormous, but it was denied, and that gun will require risk to be retrieved. Actually, I'll probably retrieve it. It's in the middle of mid. And up they go to do what they can now. We've got Cadian in a forward position in the apartment, so there's a chance that he could get a kill out of this. The rifle's being collected, so there are still things that could happen here in favor of Heroic, as unlikely as they are. Oh, just needed to be a little faster.
Oh, good damage from Tessus. And a team kill to boot.
As well.
Maybe there's a chance for Nico. He's an absolute beast, but the AWP is such a problem. It's such an issue. But it looks like Nico's found a timing. His will be heard though, surely, the tag there. And Boris picked up an AK. They know that they have to try to go for this. Boris swinging around the corner. Here is an opportunity, but look at the off angle from Alexi B. It's going to prove quite potent. And at this point, Nico should really just hold on to this. Maybe get a cheeky exit kill, but their money's decent.
Well, he has a kid in a smoke. He wants to go for this. This is
not
going to work out, though.
Good effort.
He knows. He's ready.
All right, this could be it here for for Heroic, for OG I suppose as well. Could be the moment of victory or the moment of defeats. Depends on how you want to, which perspective you're taking on it.
Run in front of the bull, you're gonna get the horns.
Yeah.
The age-old saying.
You know.
Yeah, this is
classic.
This is a tough one for Heroic. They have a lot of ground to make up. Issa, with that good spawn towards middle, will try to find the opening pick. Is denied, though. Good flashes coming out from actually seemingly both teams in that engagement. But it looks like OG are centering themselves around an A play. So this will really be up to Borup and Cadian. They have a nice setup towards the ramp. Cadian has to come up huge, but he misses the shot, and that leaves Borup out to dry. Cadian's able to recover with one, but NBK takes him down. 3v4 situation, and NBK, he's looking for more ground towards CT. Takes out Nico, and it's just getting from bad to worse on the side of Heroic.
Storm and Tessus, they are pretty fantastic. It's a 2 versus 3. They have utility here. Oh, there you go. Storm gets the drop on one. He fires the next through the smoke here. Great effort from him. Tessus, meanwhile, creeping from the connector position. And looks like the player of Firebox's Alexi B will be smoked off completely, but this may work out in his favor as he's very low. He's going to find the spray. Oh, there it is. 16-8. OG move forwards, and Heroic, they fall.
OG looked really good there. They looked really, really good. And I think the whole series, OG looked a lot better than Heroic. And the only reason Heroic even got a map is because OG kind of dropped the ball on Inferno, CT side. That's it.
That's it?
Yeah.
That's it.
Right, well, we'll discuss this further after the break.